I guess my first question for you here is, what is the impact that this continued escalation is going to have on Germany and have on Europe?
Well, first of all, we just have to make a view back. Since the war began a year and a half ago, Germany and the Western states have continuously expanded their military support for Ukraine in both quantity and in quality. Germany comes right after the US with the military aid for Ukraine. Germany's support for Ukraine alone to date totals 22 billion euros and a further 5 billion per year till 2027 at least, has been promised already by the German government. So the German government has crossed one red line after another in armed deliveries. The decision at the beginning of this year, following massive pressure from the United States to supply German Leopard 2 battle tanks to Ukraine, was a historic breach of a taboo. And however, NATO countries are supporting Ukraine not only with weapons, but also in particular through massive training of Ukrainian soldiers on these weapons here on German soil by Americans and intelligence cooperation. So this shows that Germany and its NATO allies are de facto belligerents in this proxy war, and the German government is currently considering supplying the so-called Taurus cruise missiles to Ukraine. These medium-range weapons have a range of 500 kilometers. That means from Berlin, 500 kilometers, it's in Moscow, and which would allow, as I said, Ukraine to hit Russian cities far beyond the border with these German missiles. And this would be a dangerous escalation, driving Germany further into war with Russia and threatening the security of the population here in Germany and in Europe, of course. And at the same time, we have to see that the populations of Germany and Europe, they are suffering massively the effects of Western economic sanctions. The sanctions have clearly failed to achieve their goal, like the German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock last year said. What is the goal? The goal of the sanctions are to ruin Russia. And while Germany's economy slumped by 0.3% in the past quarter, and stagnation also threatens the Eurozone, Russia's economy is now forecast to grow by 2.5% annually. So employees in Germany suffered a historically high real wage loss of 4% last year as a result of the sanctions, the skyrocketing prices, and the inflation, and the price of electricity in Germany is now 3 times higher than in the United States. So that makes very much trouble in the population. And still the population has a lot of skepticism, is against more escalation, is in favor of negotiations and more diplomacy.